Yeah, I mean, I think Jalen's worked hard as far as directions going forward. I mean, that's up to the coaching staff. And then as far as how he played and stuff like that, I think in general, obviously was not a good day for a lot of us. And I don't really have a specific for him. I'm pretty focused on what I need to do to play better.
How much of the aggressiveness stuff you were talking about is about game feel too? Like as the game goes along, getting a feel for what type of game, and is that something that is easy to tap into? I need to be more conservative here. Or do you guys talk about that on the sideline?
I think it's just knowing the situations of the game. Like I think there's been a few where it's like, hey, we don't need this right now, and those are the ones that really stick with me. Where you're like, hey, it's third and long. We gave up a pressure, like, you know, just throw the ball away, punt it, and it's the first half. And so knowing like the time and the place, when you do need to be aggressive and when the risk is worth the reward. And yeah, I mean, I've never really been someone that throws a ton of picks. So, you know, then it's also towing the line of like not turning into like, hey, don't play not to mess up. So yeah, I think that's part of the mental challenge of the position and not losing your cut of loose, but not putting yourself and your team in bad situations.
You said
Would you come away from the pick six? Do you think you forced it, or do you think it was just
I think I got to survive. I think I got to survive the down. Like you go around the league, and like I watch some other quarterbacks, and it's like, you know, guys miss throws and guys make bad reads, but they find a way for their bad plays to be incompletions. And I think that's like when you look at my film as a whole, so far, like there's been a lot of good, and there's been, you know, not a significant amount of bad, but my bad plays are detrimental to the team in the form of turnovers. And so, you know, I need to find a way to either throw the ball away with just incompletions and live to fight another day. And yeah, I think that was kind of the main takeaway from that.
what's your process like in kind of getting after a loss like that? How do you kind of move on from that? What's the process like as you go from Sunday into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, I think for me it's just, you know, sitting in it for a little bit where you're like, okay, I need to have the takeaways to improve from this, and be able to look back a couple weeks from now and say, hey, good thing that happened. Like I made the changes I need to in my game, made the changes we need to as an offense and as a team. But as far as the process for that, you get back into your routine and, you know, kind of lean on people around you for some support. And then you kind of just have to move on. And once you have your takeaways, you know, personally, and what my role was in what happened on Sunday and what I need to do differently. Once I have the takeaways, and I mean, you really got to move on. I think that's the hardest part, is just not letting it linger. And I think the sooner you can get back on the field and start throwing again and just getting into practice, preparing for a different team, the better.
Do you feel like y'all are playing fast as an offense, like processing?
One more time?
Do you feel like y'all are playing and processing fast as an offense?
Like we are playing in
Do you feel like you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some plays where, you know, you're expecting to get certain looks and then you don't, and then kind of creates some hesitation. I think that's been a big emphasis, is just come off the ball, play fast, play decisive. If you're never gonna play perfect, and so play fast, play decisive, and if you make a mistake full speed.
Have you had any conversations with Joe, trying to pick his brain about what he saw from last week?
I mean, he's in the middle of some pretty like rehab and all that, and so not a whole lot.
Jake, there's been a lot of
finding ways to get Chase Brown involved and get him going. I know you weren't going to make excuses the other day about run game wise, and I get that, but just being one of the best players on offense, how important is it to get him going?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think you know, the more we can not be one-dimensional and the more we can run the ball and have efficient gains in the run game will be really helpful. And yeah, I think just the way the running back gets touches, you know, it's kind of taking some stuff off quarterback's plate and giving me a couple breather plays of just, you know, we handed the ball off and went for 10 yards. We threw him a swing screen, went for 8, you know, just plays like that where I can, you know, have some pass attempts on second and short or first downs will be big, and just staying out of second and long, third and long. And I mean, if you live in that against any team, Denver included. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle.
How have you seen him grow between the last time you were playing 23 when he was a rookie to now?
Yeah, a lot of confidence, and just, I mean, he's always been super explosive, fast, all those different things. I think when I first played, I'm pretty sure he was coming back from an injury, so we didn't really know. And obviously, it wasn't like a really high pick for us, and so he's you can just tell he's got confidence in catching the ball, protections, putting his foot in the ground, being decisive, and yeah, like you said, he's one of the better players on our offense.
When you came in 23, the screen game really took off. You guys used it a ton. Is that something that you look to as like that you have comfort with, or you'd like to see more of as you kind of go through this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think screens are necessarily, screens and run game, like those are called, and hey, here's the look that we don't want this verse, and I can't out of it, but those are kind of plays that are schemed up and called. I kind of focus more on my pass attempts that are down the field and drop backs and play action, protection, stuff like that. So, as far as the exact reason why I took off when I started playing in 23, I'm not sure. That's kind of more of like a play calling decision.
Jake, there's been a few clips over the last week that resurfaced on social media from your college days, specifically with Drew sampled. Can you talk about just a little bit about your relationship with him from then to now, and do you wish that you had some more reps with him out on the field during the game?
My relationship with Drew, it goes all the way back to my freshman year of college. My freshman year, we lived together. Played a ton of football at Washington together. Drew's always going to be exactly where he's supposed to be, doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Super prepared. He's a pro. Takes care of his body, all that stuff. As far as more reps with him, I'm happy to take reps with whoever's at tight end, halfback, receiver. Those are coaches' decisions. And I think you just always have a level of comfort when Drew's back there. Like, he's always going to know what's going on and what to do.
What was that roommate dynamic like?
There were 5 of us, and we were all 18.
You still hit 70% of your passes. Was that anything encouraging? I mean, was that something you can build on? The fact that
Yeah, I think that kind of goes back to my point of like my incompletions need to be incompletions. They can't be picks. Like, complete 70% of your passes, and if I can walk away from the game saying, hey, I completed 70% of my passes, and those 2 picks, I found a way to either check it down or throw it away, then you're walking away like, obviously I'm not happy with the end result, but at least I didn't put us in a bad situation. And I think that's kind of where the emotional part of it all comes in, where you have a tough game, and there's obviously way too much blame or too much credit to the quarterback usually, right? Like everybody's riding this emotional wave of wins and losses, and so I think for me, focusing on like what those things are and how to minimize these catastrophic, or not catastrophic, but these bad plays. My bad plays need to be incompletions, and that's a big focus.
What's it like having the platform on Monday night to go out, especially after a game like that, to go out and kind of get your season back on track? Is that something that you guys relish?
Yeah, I think so. I think as a team, like, you obviously want to play in the big games and on the primetime games, and so we're excited. And obviously, Denver's a good team, so we're looking forward to getting back on track and against a really good team and executing at a much higher level than we did.
Are primetime games just sort of like another game for you, or is it something that you look forward to most or more than?
I think you kind of treat it as another game, just because you kind of have your routine, and I'm not going to change my routine because we're playing, at night or in a primetime game or whatever. So it's not really on your radar a ton throughout the week, but obviously everybody knows we're on Monday night, so you can't deny it.
I think your first win came on Monday night.
I did.
And what do you remember about that night?
Remember just being pretty efficient. Felt like we were able to not be one dimensional. Kind of go, the run game was good. We had a couple good screens. that kind of helped me get into a rhythm, and then was able to finish out a long game, but finish out a close game just by finding completions and keeping the ball moving forward. And, I got a lot of good players on offense with me. And so I think the takeaway from that is just get it in their hands and, be efficient.
How about the environment? What was it, you're a little kid, you're watching Monday night.
Mhm.
Did it live up to your expectations? Did you even think about it? What was the environment?
I think the best thing I did in that game was just be in the moment, find completions, stay pretty even keel, and hoping to do the same Monday night.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks.
Jake, appreciate it.
Thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate it.
Is that one?
Just one
That guy.
Oh, yeah, that's a touchdown.
Butchie, there's